What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Season 2 of VidORGs Mario Party. Just finished up our Final 7. Just finished up our Final 7. Have our guest just eliminated pretty dramatically. Let's find out who it is. It's Kevin, but unfortunately we weren't able to get him on video. But we do have him here for an audio. How's it going, Kevin?
Hey man, I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, so I mean, we'll just start with at the end. Had the fire making challenge. Slide puzzles, not the old forte, huh?
Yeah, not for me. I don't know why I struggle with them so much. Kind of like from my like Safari games, like by far the worst puzzle. Yeah, I don't know.
I think you said in a confessional, or maybe it was like a submission channel or something, that you even tried to practice slide puzzles this season.
Yeah, I didn't do a ton, but after I think it was for I can't remember what I had to do a slide puzzle for, but it was for one of like the mini games in the Safari.
Yeah.
And after that, I tried a couple, like just like I don't know, maybe here and there. And then like once I knew I was one of the fire making, I was like watching YouTube videos, like in the last like 20 minutes. I think maybe it was Sammy who was like, "Hey, can you go now?" And I'm like, "No, I gotta go. I need 20 minutes to like," and it just didn't work for me. So
Yeah, and then the second we sent the link, I think you even said, "Oh God," or something like that.
Yeah. As soon as I opened it, I was like, "This is it."
Yeah. Well, definitely a dramatic way to go out. Or sorry, slide puzzle, just kryptonite, I suppose. But talking about the vote and stuff, did you know that the fire flower was getting played?
So
did you know what it did? Like, what was the plan?
yeah, so I mean, Pink had told me, he was like, "Hey, I think I'm gonna play it on Nintendo." And I was like, I kind of, whether I convinced him or we kind of talked it out, but I was like, my gut's telling me to play it on Alec. And he was like, "All right, we'll go with that." And so leading up to it, he's like messaging me and he's saying, I don't know if Alec's down. I don't know if he's gonna play it or not. So if Alec, I mean, I was like at my computer ready. If Alec didn't play it, I was going to play my idol. But my thought was, since assuming Xander knew that Alec had a vote against him, since he was in that what was it, the like something butter alliance chat or whatever it was,
Smooth as butter or something. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. He knew that Alex was going to vote against him. So I thought they were going to do a 3-2 split with me and him, considering that our side would only have 2 votes. So that, and then on the revote, I would assume if it's like, say it was 2-2, like Alec and Xander, or wait, that they would win on the revote. So that's why I wasn't going to play my idol, because then the next vote would have been 3-3, and I just felt like we would have needed it then.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a rough one. I mean, you're actually, I think, the third person to go out with an idol in their pocket.
That's pretty wild to me.
Yeah, there's actually been more people go out with idols than idols played.
Yeah.
Which it was Bennett and then Ellie and then you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a rough one. I mean, why do you think they decided to vote you?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it definitely made sense to me. As soon as Peanut played the advantage that was stealing Pink's vote,
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty confident I was going to get the votes, because I just feel like they didn't. I mean, they already knew Alec was getting a vote against himself, and they didn't necessarily need that unless. So that's again why I thought they were going to split 3-2, because I was thinking if they were going to vote for Alec, they wouldn't have needed to use that. So as soon as he played that, I was like, okay, I'm going to get votes. And I think, I just think between, I mean, a lot of talk about Alec and Nintendo just being a little bit of lesser threats and more of like people that maybe me and Pink wanted to go to the end with. I think for them, it just, since they couldn't go for Pink, it just made sense. I think that's just what they were thinking.
Yeah. So you kind of sat in like this really interesting position in the like, especially like post merge. Like because you had these alliances with like Durden and Peanut to an extent, like, and then but then you went to Mario 2.0 and you built trust with Mr. Pink and Ellie and Oreo and all of them, and then it comes the merge time. Like, what was your thoughts? Because I know you ended up voting with Durden in the first vote. How did you backtrack, or like what was going on, and like who is your like alliance, like who are you going to be most loyal to then?
Yeah. So I guess to answer this question, I'll start with the swap. I was nervous going into it, but I knew that I was going over with I don't know how to say the Poodoo Boo, or I don't know.
Yeah,
If that's
Potaboo or something.
whatever it is. Yeah. I knew that he wasn't the most active, and so I was confident that I could like build up some relationships and make it at least a few votes. But after just kind of going through that tribe, I was like really vibing with Pink and Ellie especially, and even Oreo. I liked him a lot too, and so when we got into the merge, I was like, all right, I gotta kind of make a decision. And it wasn't really like, do I like the Bowser side more or the Mario side more? Because I think it was just a lot of great people. It was more, I just wanted to vote with the numbers, and so I thought that it would be weird for the like the Luigi's on the Luigi 2.0 tribe to flip. Just like I was like trying to struggle with like what their motivation would be to flip on the first vote. So I was like, I don't see them flipping. I'm gonna vote with the Bowsers, and then I ended up being wrong. But luckily, literally right after the votes are read, Nintendo messaged me. He's like, "Well, looks like you didn't flip. Like, we can trust you again." And I was like, "That's kind of weird." Like, so just right off the bat, they didn't even like question me. They just thought, and I don't know if that was just to get me back on their side or if that was truthfully like they just thought I voted with them. But either way, I was able to right after that like rebuild my trust. And then I obviously worked with them pretty much the rest of the game.
Yeah, it was funny. Like at the very like I remember because the very next vote was Oreo, which you voted with the Marios, and the Luigi said flip back to the Bowsers. So the first two votes you went wrong.
Yep.
And I remember in your confessionals, you just being like, "I don't know what's going on. I'm so bad." But
Yeah,
you actually
that's
like you came around and played it so well to like you didn't like piss off anybody, even though you like flipped quote unquote flipped or whatever. You like bounced on from to both sides. It didn't really seem like anyone was targeting you or you were like causing chaos or anything like that with it. What was like, how did you manage your threat, or like is that like a strategy of yours in general, I guess?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was slightly surprised with that as well. Not as much like pissing people off because that's not really, I just like that's just not I guess how I like act or.
I mean, you're a Liverpool fan though, so like pisses me off.
Well, I mean, okay, sorry about that. But yeah, I was surprised that I was because after the first two votes and just thinking about it a lot, I was like, dang it, like I'm flipping back and forth, like they're just gonna go for me at one of these votes, like, but kind of what brought me back into the game was my relationship with Pink. We were really just able to I know I think in Locke's interview you mentioned he was like Tyler of BB20, and I was thinking the exact same thing like in the game. I don't know if I put it in my confessionals or not, but like I was like. He, especially after the challenge with the trust ringing challenge.
Yeah,
I was like, I mean, so many people put him as number one, but
I think it was 5 out of the 8.
Was it 5? I mean, yeah. That's insane. That's really insane.
Or 5 out of 9. So, but still, that's over half the tribe saw you as the number one. That's pretty crazy.
That's insane. Yeah, but so whether he was like 100% truthful and that he wanted to go to the end with me or not, either way, I mean, we were really able to like talk it out. He wasn't upset with me. He was the only one who I knew I didn't vote for that I did vote for Nintendo because I had told him before the vote that's where I was going, and so we were able to, because of that, I think he knew like, okay, like he wouldn't lie to me by this point. And so we were just able to kind of like game plan together, bounce ideas back and forth, and really just like kind of strategize and like plan ahead. And I think the reason this worked so well for me was because, and I kind of like used this into my strategy as stuff was developing, but him and Ellie were seen as definitely like the power couple, you would say. And I don't think, especially from the like the Luigi 2.0 people, I don't really think they suspected, at least for a while, that like me and Pink were so tightly aligned. Sure, they probably thought, oh, he's working with Mario 2.0, but I don't think they knew to the extent that like me and Pink were working together. So I think that's how I was able to kind of bounce back and forth and then kind of land on my feet.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Speaking of like your relationship with Pink and stuff, would you have gone to the end with Pink, or what was your plan? Like, for if you won Fire and you go to the final six, kind of
Hmm.
what was your plan to navigate things?
Yeah, I 100% would have gone to the Final Four or gone to I guess all the way with him. Um, I was gonna say if it came to like a Final Four situation and I had the opportunity to take him out, I can't say 100% that I wouldn't have.
Yeah,
But yeah, everything I was telling him and everything I was saying in my confessional is like 100%. I was ready to just make it all the way to the end of the game with him for sure.
yeah. What I mean, I guess you guys targeted Xander
Mhm.
on your vote out. What was the primary reason for Xander over I guess Peanut? I think Dig was safe.
Yeah, I think he had won the
Or no,
challenge.
was that I think that was catch the letter. Was that when Pink won?
When I went out, it was for yeah. So Pink was immune,
Okay.
and Alec had the self vote.
Yeah.
So it was just me and Nintendo voting. Um,
Was
yeah,
it,
for me, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say. So yeah, there was Peanut, Dig, and Xander. Why was the
Mhm.
decision Xander?
Yeah. So for me, I just felt like if the chips fell where it was kind of like a final six, final five, farther in the game, I could work something out better with Peanut than I could with the other two. So I was kind of like trying to push people towards voting for either Dig or Xander, and it just seemed like I think DMing with Nintendo since we were the only two that could vote, and it just seemed like he would rather vote Xander, and I was like, all right, that's fine with me. So that's just kind of how it landed. I was just pushing it away from Peanut for my personal game.
I guess yeah, or Piano. I know you always call him
Yeah,
Piano.
I just
Uh,
that's how I called it, and then everyone was like, "Oh, Peanut this, Peanut that." I'm like, okay, whatever.
no, I like your steadfastness in calling him Piano though. Like even on when you would vote for him, always
Yeah,
Piano.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So going, the game going forward, we got 6 players left. No spoilers because we're
Hmm.
recording post. We have Nintendog, Dig, Peanut or Piano, Mr. Pink,
Hmm.
Xander, and Alec. Who
Hmm.
do you see as running the game right now, in the best position to win? And like I guess who would you be voting for?
Yeah. I definitely think that Pink is playing really well socially. And I would say that Xander is playing. I wouldn't go as far as say better strategically, but definitely. He had the idle play. He kind of went back and forth. He's definitely, whether it's going to work out for him or not, he definitely has like a plan in place that he's trying to play out, and I really appreciate that. So for me, those are kind of the two front runners. However, me and Piano just had like really good conversations, and they were definitely the person that like when we went for the tribe swap, I was most upset not to be with them.
Mm-hmm.
They were definitely my closest when we were still at OG Bowser. Um, so I definitely wouldn't be against voting for them if they were able to present their case well. Um, but as far as moving forward, I would be surprised if Pink made it all the way, just because so many people have called him out as like either a huge threat. He got number one in the trust rankings. People have said on their way out, like he's running the game, this and that. But that being said, if he makes it to the end, I think he would have the best case to win.
Yeah. What about Nintendog, Alec, and Dig?
Yeah. So for me personally, with Dig, we never talked. I mean, we DM'd I think one night. He didn't respond to me, which I don't take like harshly, but it's just kind of like if we didn't talk, like I would have a really hard time voting for him to win.
Sure.
Yeah. And then as far as Nintendo and Alec, I don't. They just didn't have much agency in any of the moves that were happening.
I like that. I
It's
like that
good.
word, agency. That's good.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's like sure they were working with us, but at the same time, they never came to me, or at least, and I don't think they came to others to my knowledge and said like, hey, like we need to do this,
Like they're not
or
presenting any new ideas or anything like
right,
that. It's just like, what are we doing?
yeah, 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 not presenting any new ideas, not talking about any advantages they had or anything like that. there was there was the one time where Alec was given some fight where I think he got called out for having an idol and was kind of and, I mean that's something to kind of that he had to navigate, which would give him some brownie points. He was down to like him and Nintendo and Dig for me, but so I think out of the three of them, I might vote him, but at the same time, I wouldn't be against voting Dig. He may have been doing some great things behind the scenes that I didn't realize just because we never talk.
Sure.
But yeah, that's kind of where I sit with those three.
Right on. Well, I mean, I don't know too much more like game questions I have for you. Just kind of, I'm curious thoughts. Well, first off, I'm super excited that you did play. I thought that you were really fun to watch. And I thought you did really well. To be honest, I thought you could have gone pretty far. I don't know if I'm really allowed to say like why I think they voted you. Just because you still are voting for a winner and everything.
Sure.
But you could hear from later jurors and stuff, I'm sure. But I guess I'm just kind of curious, what you thought of the season, what your favorite parts were, and everything.
Yeah. The season was super fun. I was really happy to be cast. I had met Dodge from Chair at Org. And so, and he's obviously a great guy, super nice, really easy to talk with. And so, for whatever reason, for season 1, I couldn't play or some conflict. I was busy or whatever. So yeah, I was really happy that I was free and that I could play. Cause I guess probably most people who apply to it, that Survivor and video games is a big crossover. I like both those a lot. And so
at least on Discord.
Yeah, right. At least on Discord. And Mario Party, that's something that I played a lot growing up, so that got me really excited as well. And I think the whole theme was just you guys really took it in a creative way. Incorporating everybody has their own character, all the different stuff on the safari. Every spot was a different Mario realm or whatever. I just really liked it. I thought it was super creative. You and a couple of the other hosts just really put in a ton of work, I could tell. And so I just think it's really awesome. I had a lot of fun.
Thank you. No, I mean, it means a lot just to have you say that, to be honest. We tried really hard, especially Dodge had the creative vision and stuff for the org, and has had some stuff this season, so he hasn't been able to be as involved. But with GT and Sammy and Fan and everything, just putting a ton of effort in to make it fun. But and one of the things our goal was really to make the themes matter a little bit. Where in some orgs, I feel like I don't always. It's just a location and it doesn't actually mean anything. So that was kind of our goal. Did you have a favorite challenge? I'm curious, and maybe a least favorite. Always give feedback. You got to make it better for next season. Yeah,
an obvious least favorite for me. I won't even talk about it.
Slides, fire challenge. Just scrap fire idols.
Yeah, I actually I'll talk about two different things. One, the nanogram. When I won my idol, I actually really liked that puzzle. Okay. When I first jumped into it, because I had done them before, but not with colors. Yeah. So that for 5 or 10 minutes, I was like, what is going on here? But once I kind of got the gist of it, I was able to solve it rather quickly. I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun from the Safari challenges, and then from the game challenges. I just like that you guys didn't really do just straight up apps or just straight up stuff like that. They were really creative, and the one where me and Piano went tick for tack all the way to the end. Is it just called black white challenge or
black or the bracket challenge, which is the black and white? Yeah. That was intense.
It was really fun because it's not it's not 100% strategy. If you don't have a strategy mind, you're not just gonna automatically lose with that one. But at the same time, it's fun to try to guess what they play and then be all right, I don't know. I did that one.
Yeah, there's some prediction and you're trying to it's like rock paper scissors. It's are they gonna do this and then I do this, or are they gonna do that? And it's it's kind of fun. I remember when that was going on, you guys were going to triple overtime or something like that, and I remember I was on my phone watching because I was walking my dog and I was in the park throwing the ball for her, and I was just oh my god, what's going on? And I'm sitting there messaging GT oh my god, if he does this, and There was actually, I think there was an opportunity that you could have won.
Yeah,
you
you had
didn't.
said that to me.
Yeah, you didn't know, and
Yeah.
you had two options, and it was like, do I take the safe route that guarantees that I don't lose and maybe allows me to win, or do I go for the win?
Yeah, but hey,
Hey, yeah.
all right.
I mean, that didn't. That's not when you went out anyway, but could have got the old feather in the cap, I suppose.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, thank you for coming in. Doing a little exit interview with me. Maybe maybe we'll see you again in the future season. Who knows?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks again, Kevin, and it was a pleasure to see you. We'll see you again on finale night when you're going to cast a vote.
Yeah, man. Take it easy.
All right.
See you.
And I'm back again, all by myself. But that was the call with Kevin. Really, really fun guy to watch play. I just want to say thanks to him for coming in and doing the interview and everything. Sorry we weren't able to do video, but can't always make it work. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to be here. You'll see it. Next episode is going to be tomorrow, actually. We'll see you guys tomorrow with the next video. Have a good night.